Welcome to Black and White Overnight, Game Show Network's salute to the bygone era of classic game shows, featuring some of your favorite stars of stage and screen.
What's My Line? Brought to you by Sunbeam, the best electric appliances made. The deluxe Sunbeam Mixmaster food mixer and Sunbeam Time. New slimline beauty and new dimensions in time for every room in your home. Now, let's all play What's My Line?
And now let's meet our award-winning panel of What's My Line. First, the delightful star of stage and television, Miss Arlene Francis.
And now the producer and director of one of the most provocative and successful pictures playing across the country, On the Beach, Mr. Stanley Kramer.
And may I introduce one of America's most famous columnists, Miss Dorothy Kilgallen.
I don't know whether I can make this announcement without bursting into tears or not, but the panelist on my left is leaving us after tonight for a whole month to do some lecturing and then to go to Florida and Jamaica for a vacation. And here he is, Mr. Bennett Cerf.
Here introducing him for the last time for a month for me is our scintillating and always fair to hear him tell it, John Charles Daly.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to What's My Line. Needless to say, we're up to our old tricks, and I trust Mr. Kramer will enjoy them. The tricks, that is. Bennett's going to go away and get a rest, so we'll try to tire him out thoroughly tonight. We'll also have a famous mystery guest before the panel a little bit later in the program, and we'll meet our first challenger after this. Well, let's meet our first challenger. Would you come in and sign in, please? Sister Mary Christina. Is that right? Sister, where are you from?
I'm a Marist missionary sister from Framingham Center, Massachusetts.
Framingham Center, Massachusetts. I know that part of the country well, being at some time of my life from Massachusetts, and actually Miss Francis knows Massachusetts well, so you can look kindly upon the panel, if you will. Panel, Sister Mary Christina. Will you join me over here, please, sister?
Very well.
And now, sister, do you know how we keep score?
Yes, I do.
All right, fine. Then if you will sit down for just a moment, we will let the folks in the audience here in the theater and those who are watching at home know exactly what your line is within your line. Well, I think, panel, that it would be very properly said here that since Sister Mary Christina is in her habit, I don't have to tell you whether she is salaried or self-employed. We can pass that by. So I won't give you any help at all, and we'll begin the general questioning with Dorothy Kilgallen.
Sister, is what you do at all physical as well as intellectual?
Yes.
Would you say that any strength or dexterity was required for what you do?
Yes.
Do you have anything to do with athletics?
No.
1 down and 9 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Sister, do you have anything to do with very young people, children?
Yes.
Do you train or teach or coach these children in some particular endeavor?
No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Francis.
Do these children come to you in groups rather than separately, sister?
No.
3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Kramer.
Would there be, sister, if I might ask, some particular kind of equipment used in the activity in which you're engaged with the children?
Yes.
Would it be athletic equipment of some kind?
No.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would it be either scientific or something to do with communications or transportation? No.
5 down and 5 to go, Mr. Sir.
Sister, would it have anything to do with entertainment?
No.
6 down and 4 to go, Miss Francis.
Well, sister, would it have anything to do with therapy in any way?
Yes.
Would it have anything to do with the therapeutic treatment of children who may have some deficiency in movement?
No.
7 down and 3 to go, Mr. Kramer.
Could this particular activity be associated with the arts in any way?
No.
8 down and 2 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Sister, are these children who come to you well children? Yes. And they come to you separately? Yes. And you do something with or to them that requires some dexterity or skill? Yes. Are they better off as a result of that? Yes. Is it something that's capable of being demonstrated? Can they go home and show their parents what they've learned from you? Yes. Sister, may I assume that your role is not entirely disciplinary? Yes. Are the children happy to come to you?
Be honest now, sister. Be honest and say, no. That makes it 9 down and 1 to go, Mr. Sir.
Well, sister, do you mean by the fact that they're not happy to come to you that they come involuntarily?
No.
Well, sister, with your permission, we will give Mr. Cerf a yes and no. I would think that there are instances where children properly prepared, perhaps lied to. There would be circumstances when children might come voluntarily, albeit reluctantly, and in other cases we might describe their attitude when they come as involuntary, wouldn't you say?
Well, that's a typical John Daly answer, sister. Do you come into physical contact with these children when they visit you?
Yes.
Would you perform something that might be considered a medical aid of some
Yes.
sort? Would it be above the children's necks?
Yes.
Would it possibly be somewhere with in their mouth?
Yes.
Are you a dentist?
There is one memory that stays with all of us, I don't care how many years have passed, that will forever evoke in later years. Are you a dentist? When you say to the children come in voluntarily, you're going to say, gotta be a dentist, gotta be, very wonderful. I would say that Sister Mary Christina is not only a dentist, she is one of only, I believe, 4 nuns holding a dentist degree. She has her own clinic in Framingham at the Marist Mission there. And she also appears at the dental clinic in Boston at the Massachusetts Memorial. So that she is very much a dentist, and I think the young people and the adults, by the way, you assumed it was all young people, isn't it? The adults too.
I wonder if the sister uses one of those new high-speed drills.
Yes, I do.
Aren't they awful?
Sister, do you use water injection too when you're drilling?
Yes.
You got anything new you could tell me about? Because I've got to go to the dentist in a month or two, and I dread it. Well, no, I don't really dread it. I've got a wonderful man who's my dentist. But if you've got anything new that I haven't heard about, which just removes the drill from the dentist office. Got anything like that?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, we'll kick this over anyway, because I think you really should have the whole bundle. And I must thank you very much for being our guest, sister. It was wonderful to have you on What's My Line. There are also Marist brothers, and I have long memories about them because when I was a boy in South Africa and good schools were very hard to come by, I went to a Marist Brothers College in Johannesburg, and there my education started, and Bennett has resented it ever since. Let's see what we can do with another challenge. Will you come in and sign in, please? Gedney Tuttle, is that right, sir? Where are you from, Mr. Tuttle? From Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Right.
All righty. Mr. Tuttle, may I present the panel? Tuttle? Will you join me over here? Do you know how we keep score, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right, then we'll let the folks here in the theater, all those except the panel, and the folks at home know exactly what your line is. Panel, we can tell you that Mr. Tuttle is salaried, and let's begin the general questioning with Miss Francis.
Mr. Tuttle, is there any product connected with what you do?
Yes, there is.
Is it a useful product?
Yes.
Is it a product I might find useful?
Yes.
Is it anything I would use indoors?
Yes.
Do you suppose I have one of the products in the house now? Would it be natural for me to?
Yes, I think so.
Is it something that I would have out showing in case guests were coming? I show quite a lot of things when I have guests.
Well, I think actually Mr. Tuttle hesitates for a moment, but I think it's completely fair to say that if you had guests coming, it's very likely, or it certainly is possible, that you would have it out where they could see it.
If I had it out, it would show.
Well, yes.
By that I mean it isn't so small that it wouldn't be noticed.
No.
No. Is it larger than our usual bread box, Mr. Tuttle?
No.
That's one down and 9 to go, Mr. Kramer.
Is this a manufactured product, Mr. Tuttle? No.
2 down and 8 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Then this product is something that nature provides.
Yes.
Dividing the world into animal, vegetable, and mineral. Is it other than animal?
Yes.
Is it vegetable?
Yes.
Is it edible?
Yes.
Do living people eat it? I mean...
I haven't seen a dead one eat one.
Will they live after they eat it, is what you...
I wish I could say no to that one.
I'm sorry. I meant human beings as opposed to just animals. Human beings eat this.
Yes.
As opposed to animals?
Not necessarily as
No, actually, let me reduce it.
I didn't want to confine myself to dogs or anything.
You didn't want to define yourself to
Confine.
dogs? Oh, confine
Confine.
yourself with dogs. Well, I wouldn't confine myself with a dog. I know that. The answer is yes anyway, Doris.
Well, human beings do partake of this product, which is smaller than a bread box. Is it something that grows in or out of the ground?
Yes.
When it is at its point of fruition, is it above the ground?
Yes.
Well, I got rid of turnips anyway.
Good thing, too.
And rutabagas.
Do you consider it a vegetable rather than a fruit?
Boy.
And I would like to point out that I believe the dictionary defines a tomato as a fruit. Not that I want to get a no.
It does.
We define it as a vegetable rather than a fruit.
All right. Is this vegetable something that would be considered a side dish at a normal meal?
Yes.
Of course, if you had roast beef gravy on top of it, you might consider it a main course. But I don't really think you would. I don't think you would.
Is it a high-protein vegetable rather than a very starchy vegetable?
I beg your pardon.
Well, he ought to know.
I think you got daily stuff.
Dorothy, you see, actually, you've given us a terrible problem because you have asked on a comparative basis, which requires that we give you a judgment as between the protein and starch content of this food, and there is so little of both, we'll give you a no. That makes it 3 down and 7 to go, Mr. Cerf.
Mr. Tuttle, may we rule out grains entirely?
Yes.
Is this vegetable is usually served in a cooked fashion rather than raw? Is something done to this vegetable usually?
Yes.
It is not served raw.
No.
Is the vegetable green and is the...
I was just been time out.
I think it's no because...
Yeah, but you see, Bennett said something is done to this vegetable. Now, he opened so many doors then that you and I could run in and out of them for the next 5 days and couldn't have.
Well, if it just is something is... Any time, John. Good Lord, now.
Bennett, on the issue, now to clarify, on the issue that something is done, we'll give you a qualified yes.
Has the vegetable got a distinguishable color?
Yes.
Is it either red or green?
Yes.
Is it green?
Yes.
Well, that's it. Good night, everybody. Nice to see you. Goodbye.
I can think offhand of peas, beans, and spinach. Is it one of those 3?
No.
Offhand, no.
Offhand,
that's
no.
4 down and 6 to go, Miss Francis.
Is it leafy rather than beany?
Beanie.
No.
It's not leafy.
I'm going to give you 1 more minute.
Can you grow this at home?
You mean in the house?
In the house. In the house, no.
No. 6 down and 4 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Would it ever be polite to eat this with your fingers?
Yes.
Oh,
Corn.
that's not green.
Green on the outside?
The corn is green, you remember.
They wrote a book.
Now, may I assume that this vegetable is green when it is eaten? The part that is eaten is green?
Yes.
Would it ever be dipped in butter or served with butter sauce?
It's worth a try, but no.
Maybe it's a chive or something.
In the interest of my equilibrium, I'm going to call this off in about 15 seconds. Bennett, you want to take a shot at 7 down and 3 to go?
Yes, well, that's ruled out artichoke. We've ruled out asparagus. We've ruled out... I don't know what chives look like.
Oh, there are little things in
I
beeches
passed to
flour.
Arlene. You asked if it's chives.
Parsley. Now, John is so eager
10,
to end all
9,
of this,
8.
are we way off the track?
Well, no, actually, you've been on the track more or less. Well, the ties, anyway. You've been on the ties for the better part of 10, 12 minutes now, because Mr. Tuttle is a pickle packer.
Oh.
He is the vice president of the M.A. Gedney Pickle Company, where they pack pickles. Right? Thank you very much. I hope you had some fun. It was a lot of fun having you with us. Thanks very much for being our guest on What's My Line. Man. We'll meet tonight's mystery guest in just a moment, but first, here is a message from our sponsor. And now we come to the special feature of our program, the appearance of our mystery celebrity, for which my colleagues on the panel are all blindfolded. Are the blindfolds in place, panel?
Yes, John.
Good. Will you come in, mystery challenger, and sign in, please? As you know, in the case of our mystery challenger, we go to a different form of questioning. You ask 1 question at a time in turn, moving clockwise, and let's begin with Bennett Cerf.
Well, if you're in show business, is there a star on your dressing room?
No star. No star at all.
No star?
No star?
No, I would say this. I think here that even in my ignorance, I must be allowed in the lay terms to change the answer to a yes with our guest's permission.
Don't even have a dressing room.
But if you had one, there would be a star on the door. So we'll call that a yes. Miss Francis.
Are you a leading man?
And what kind? He-man?
Leading. He, I'm sure.
I can lead, yeah.
Mr. Kramer?
Are you better known for motion pictures than for stage or television?
I've been known to have been on them.
I think
I should say something, yes or no, sir?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess I better say yes.
I guess you better, too. All right, Miss Kilgallen?
Would you ever play a nightclub or supper club as part of your regular work?
Yes, nightclub, yes, ma'am.
Mr. Sir?
Are you doing that in New York at the present time?
Yes, I am.
Miss Francis?
Are you a singer? Because you're hurting your voice if you are.
Are you a singer?
Yes, I'm a singer of sorts.
Mr. Kramer?
Have you ever played, and this is just my own peculiarity, have you ever played on the Strip in California?
Is that your peculiarity?
I had fun on the Strip, but I never played on it.
That's a no. That's one down at 9 to go, Miss Kilgallen.
Have you currently a record in the top 20?
No, I don't have a record in the top 20.
2 down and 8 to go, Mr.
Sorry.
Sir.
Were you ever in your career associated, theatrically speaking, with the Royal Northwest Mounted Police?
Yes, sir. I'm proud
Nelson
to
Eddy?
say I was.
Oh, that was great. I was afraid somebody would remember that you were at the Empire Room at the Waldorf Astoria, or remember that that was a place to ask about anyway.
I've been practicing all day long an entirely different voice, and when I got here, the gentleman says, no, I want you to talk in a real high, squeaky voice.
Well, let's hear the voice you were practicing.
Oh, I had a real low one like this, real from laryngitis, you know.
We've gotten to the point where we don't pay too much attention to the voices because they're always disguised, but we find out who's around town at all the better nightclubs and here in the movies and things.
I heard about that conversation this afternoon. Before the show, I believe it was.
Bennett very carefully went over the list. I've been in California this past week, and Bennett very carefully went over the list of who he thought might be in town while I was in the other dressing room. Then he says, well, didn't you know?
Hi, voice. I almost went to Jeanette MacDonald myself.
What is actually, Stan, I think for the benefit of our audience, when you said this Strip in Hollywood, my ignorance is massive.
It's a local joke, isn't it? Well, you see how you can go wrong.
No, but what is this?
Did you mean the Sunset Strip?
Yeah, the Sunsets.
Ciro's, Mocambo, and
Ciro's,
Oh, 77 and all those.
I thought I was going to burst out in a great burst of brilliance.
I can do an imitation of Cookie.
Do an imitation of Cookie. Well, I must say that I'm sure I speak for everybody who's in the theater and all the folks at home. I know that I have had great pleasure from your wonderful talents and abilities for all the adult years I can remember. And it's just, to me, great that you're in the Empire Room at the Waldorf and still going on as you were when I was a young man, and that great voice was still, in those days, to us, the essence of romance, because we had to go to work every morning at 8 o'clock and quit at 5, you know.
Well, I thank you, John, very much on behalf of myself and my two partners, Gail Sherwood and Theodore Paxson, who are with me and without whom I would be very little in this show.
Well, I think you are.
It's sure nice to be here again.
Well, it's wonderful to have you with us. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you. I don't reckon there anybody's ever forgotten Rio Rita or Merry Widow or Rosemary. They're wonderful days. And, panel, I must admit you've done rather well so far. But we'll all be back after this word from our alternate sponsor. Kramer, it's been nice having you with us.
Thank you.
Dorothy, back to the coast again, and Bennett, have some good lectures and have a good rest in Jamaica. And with that, good night, Miss Arlene Francis.
Good night, John, and have a happy time on the beach, Mr. Kramer.
That's very nice. Good night, Dorothy. Back to the coast.
Good night, Stanley. Come again. Good night, Jim Daniels. See you tomorrow in the courtroom. Good night, Bennett.
Good night, John. See you in a month or so.
Good deal. Actually, if we'd had time, Bennett was going to sing Rio Rita, and you're lucky we didn't have time. And thank you for being with us on What's My Line?
What's My Line is a CBS television network production in association with Mark Goodson and Bill Todman. Hal Sims speaking.
Now you